Adventures of Turbo the Tiny Truck. Once upon a time, in a bustling town called Mechanoville, lived a tiny truck named Turbo. Turbo was not like the other trucks in town. He was much smaller, but what he lacked in size, he made up for in spirit. Turbo had shiny red paint, a cheerful honk, and a heart full of dreams. Turbo lived in a cozy garage with his friends, Vicky the van, Benny the bus, and Danny the dump truck. Every morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon, Turbo would wake up excited for the new day and the adventures it might bring. One sunny morning, Turbo woke up to the sound of excitement in the garage. The mayor of Mechanoville had announced a grand race through the town, and all the vehicles were invited to participate. Turbo's eyes sparkled with anticipation. "Are you going to join the race, Turbo?" Vicky asked. "Of course I am," Turbo replied enthusiastically. "I may be small, but I can go fast." Benny and Danny exchanged worried glances. "Turbo, the racetrack is long and has some rough terrain. Are you sure you can handle it?" Benny asked. Turbo puffed out his tiny chest. "I may be small, but I have a big heart. And with my friends cheering me on, I know I can do it." The race day arrived, and the entire town gathered to watch. Turbo rolled up to the starting line beside much larger vehicles, Big Bob the bulldozer, Sally the semi, and Max the monster truck. They all towered over Turbo, but he didn't let that intimidate him. "Ready, set, go," shouted the mayor, and with a roar of engines, the race began. Turbo zoomed forward with all his might. The first part of the race was through the busy streets of Mechanoville. Turbo skillfully weaved through traffic, surprising everyone with his agility. He could take sharp turns and fit through tight spots where the bigger trucks couldn't go. As Turbo approached the first checkpoint, he saw Big Bob stuck in a narrow alley. Without hesitation, Turbo zipped through the alley and emerged ahead. The crowd cheered. "Go, Turbo, go," shouted Vicky, Benny, and Danny from the sidelines. The next part of the race took the vehicles through the rocky hills outside of town. Turbo struggled a bit on the rough terrain. His small wheels bounced over the rocks, and it was hard to keep up with the larger trucks that could easily navigate the bumpy path. Just when Turbo thought he might be left behind, he saw a shortcut. It was a narrow path through the forest, barely wide enough for him. He hesitated for a moment, but then remembered his friends' encouraging cheers. Turbo took the shortcut. It was tricky, with low branches and uneven ground, but Turbo's small size was now an advantage. He zipped through the forest, dodging trees, and leaping over roots. When he emerged on the other side, he was ahead of the pack once again. The final stretch of the race was a steep hill leading back into Mechanoville. Turbo's tiny engine roared as he climbed the hill. His tires spun and slipped, but he didn't give up. He could see the finish line at the top, and the cheers of his friends filled his ears. With one final burst of energy, Turbo pushed himself up the hill and crossed the finish line. The crowd erupted in applause and cheers. Turbo had done it. He had won the race. The mayor awarded Turbo with a shiny gold trophy. "Congratulations, Turbo, you've shown us all that being small doesn't mean you can't achieve great things." Turbo beamed with pride. "Thank you. But I couldn't have done it without my friends cheering me on." Vicky, Benny, and Danny rolled up beside Turbo and gave him a celebratory honk. "We knew you could do it, Turbo," Vicky said. Turbo's victory was celebrated throughout Mechanoville. From that day on, Turbo became a symbol of determination and courage. No matter how big or small, every vehicle in Mechanoville knew that they could achieve great things if they had a big heart and the support of good friends. And so, Turbo the tiny truck continued to have many more adventures, each one proving that with bravery and friendship, anything was possible. And every night, as Turbo settled into his cozy garage, He dreamed of the next big adventure that awaited him and his friends in Mechanoville.